Hi guys, today I'm going to speak about a very important topic which I consider, I mean, very relevant in today's times, and that is the increased number of heart attacks that we're seeing amongst youngsters and even the middle age. It was not so prevalent about 30 years ago, but now that age group, whom we call youngsters, they're having an increasing number of heart attacks, and many are dying, even actors and even physical fitness enthusiasts. And I have done my own research, and these are some of my findings of that research. So, what I find among the salient things are, one is the younger generation today, their mind is in a perpetual state of fight or flight. That is, they're never at rest due to this ever growing competition. Well, there are some who might be at rest, but the majority of the people who have to study for competitive exams and they clear it or they get a job, still there's always some level of achievement and a lot of uncertainty about it. In the past in India, we had a lot of government jobs, so your job was secure, you had peace of mind. So I find this is a very with this privatization and all that that's happened in India. Well, India has become wealthy, but uh, it's come at a cost, and that is the cost. That is the cost of the peace of mind that the youngsters today are not having, because the entire Western system of management involves keeping people on their toes. Otherwise, people start to relax, and that's bad for productivity and things like that. So, the blood pressure is perpetually high when they are in a perpetual state of fight or flight state of mind. And from my standpoint, most of the people have not experienced a normal state of mind where they are not in that perpetual state of fight or flight. That's one aspect. So, what they consider to be the normal is the new normal. That is one aspect. The other aspect is there is too much uncertainty about everything in today's world. So, the complexities of modern political life, where there can be rapid disruptive changes, sudden disruptive changes that can completely upset their calculations. So, that also takes away a certain amount of their peace of mind. Well, those who are benefiting from a certain political system, their story is different, maybe. But even those who are benefiting, they have to cope with new challenges, new situations, and it is totally unfamiliar territory. And all unfamiliar territory can increase uh, anxious thought processes. Another aspect that I notice among youngsters today is they consume hard drugs like amphetamines, and apart from the you know older drugs like heroin and brown sugar, the newer generation of hard drugs, they are actually stimulants, methamphetamine based stimulants. Now they act on the heart in a very direct manner. They increase the pulse rate, and if you take even slightly more, your pulse rate can go so high that if you're slightly vulnerable or predisposed at a cardiac level, then you could have an attack. Then there is this problem of very poor exercise among a lot of the youngsters. Like even for short distances, they will use an auto rickshaw or a car or a bus or a train, and that's primarily because nobody has the time. Nobody has the time, or the luxury to go to a place walking. That kind of leisure time nobody's having. So everybody's in the rush. Everybody is running, and the normal physical exercises like walking is not happening. Aerobics is not happening. What's happening in the gym is high intensity exercises. Now, high intensity exercises, they put a strain on the heart. It is not like a low intensity exercise like aerobics. So very often we hear that a person goes to the gym, he's trying to do something good for his body, his intentions are noble, but the exercise itself is so strenuous or of a high intensity type where there is no gradual increase in pulse rate, and you're making an effort. Exercise should be effortless, like walking. Here it is high focus, high stress, full effort. So that also causes or contributes towards heart attack. Recently, we had an incident of Raju Srivastav who collapsed in the gym. So many other instances. South Indian actor, I forget their names. They died in the gym or after coming home, uh, after doing their gym workout and things like that. Then comes the very important thing of diet. People are not having the proper diet these days. It's a lot of it is highly processed food, fast food, excessive consumption of fat. And if you will notice, a lot of the youngsters these days, they have a pot belly. Now, this pot belly is not, I wouldn't say it's due to the consumption of fat uh, uh, by itself. It's really related to stressful lifestyle, because of which they are getting this pot belly. It's not, I wouldn't blame the fatty food that they're consuming as much as I would blame the level of stress or an uncertain state of mind that they are in, which is responsible for the development of a pot belly. Then a lot of the people, the youngsters these days, what I found a different thing is when I was in the 80s and 90s or even the 70s when I was a kid, we had role models whom we looked up to. And I would say the system of reward and punishment was more predictable. That is, if you do good, you can expect good outcomes. Today, if you do good, the outcome need not be good, it can be the exact opposite. Because the system of reward and punishment is no longer predictable. Different types of philosophies and ideologies have crept in, and we can't tell what will happen. So, if you're going to do the right thing and the good thing, we can't tell what the outcome, we can't tell where it will lead to. Most people feel it's not good to do the right thing if it is going to separate them from the crowd, because it's difficult to tell or predict where such do good activities can ultimately lead to. So people don't want to take that risk. So then I want to say, this COVID vaccine that has come in the market, that may have contributed to the increase in heart attacks, is what many findings abroad is indicating. A lot of these findings are not actively supported by the governments overseas, because they also have a moral obligation to ensure that more and more people get vaccinated, because otherwise uh, the disease can spread. The COVID vaccine, it increases the immune response of the body, but this heightened immune response is resulting in the body's immune systems recognizing some of its own body cells as an enemy cell, and it is targeting it. And if it is going to target cells that are related to the heart muscle or heart as an enemy cell, then definitely there will be a problem. The usual things like thickening of the arteries and veins, due to consumption of tobacco and alcohol, cannot be ruled out. But I will say that 30 years ago, people used to consume tobacco and people used to consume alcohol, and youngsters would consume it in good quantity, but they were not having this level of heart attacks. So I think we can, not that tobacco and alcohol is good, but we can keep that aside for a while, because that does not explain fully the current trends that are taking place, where the level of heart attacks is much more than what we would normally expect. And that's all for today. If you have liked my video, please click on the like, share, and subscribe button. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching this video. Have a great day. Bye.